Hello, Falcons fans! The Falcons are finally getting healthy, and it couldn't come at a better time. With just 5 games left in the regular season and a very slim margin of error, the reinforcements are arriving just in time for a pivotal game against the Minnesota Vikings. Let's get the latest behind-the-scenes action from the Falcons, and I'll give you all the details. But first, be sure to hit that like button and comment below with your expectations for the upcoming matchup. Let's go! In Thursday's injury report, we saw 11 names, including key players like linebacker Troy Anderson and running back Jace McClellan. The good news? Wide receivers Drake London and Darnell Mooney both participated fully in practice, a huge boost for a passing game that desperately needs to get back on track. However, there are still lingering concerns. Defensive lineman Zach Harrison and rookie Rook Orhorhoro were both limited, with Orhorhoro continuing to work toward activation after his recent return to practice. Orhorhoro's potential return could be pivotal for a defense that is starting to gain momentum, but let's not forget, he's been out for a while, so his impact might take some time. For a unit that just recorded its best pass rushing performance of the season with 5 sacks last week, having fresh legs could make all the difference down the stretch. Now, let's talk about the quarterback situation. Kirk Cousins is heading back to Minnesota, the city where he spent the last 6 years of his career, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The Falcons are in the midst of a brutal 3-game losing streak, and Cousins has been at the center of the criticism. Over those 3 games, he's thrown 0 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and has looked far from the $180 million solution Atlanta hoped he'd be. This week, Cousins leads the league in turnovers with 15, barely edging out Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold, who sits at 14. Sunday's game feels like a make-or-break moment, not just for Cousins, but for the entire Falcons team. At 6-6, Atlanta is clinging to its NFC South lead, but another loss could send their season spiraling out of control. Cousins, meanwhile, has an opportunity to prove he's still capable of leading this team, but he'll need to do so against the Vikings defense that ranks among the NFL's best in pressuring quarterbacks and forcing turnovers. Minnesota is 4th in sacks, 4th in pressure percentage, and leads the league with 18 interceptions. That's not exactly the kind of defense you want to face when you're already struggling. The question is, can Cousins step up? Bold prediction, he'll finally end his 3-game drought without a touchdown pass, but he'll also throw 2 interceptions and take at least 2 sacks. It's a tough spot for the veteran quarterback, especially with Atlanta's offensive line facing a ferocious pass rush. But Cousins has to find a way to minimize mistakes if the Falcons want any shot at pulling off the upset. Switching gears to the ground game, Bijan Robinson remains Atlanta's most reliable weapon on offense. He scored all of the Falcons' touchdowns over the last 3 games and is coming off a strong 102-yard rushing performance against the Chargers. The bad news? He's facing a Vikings defense that ranks first in the NFL in rushing defense, allowing just 81.3 yards per game and only 5 rushing touchdowns all season. Realistically, expecting Robinson to crack the 100-yard mark again might be too much, but he could still make an impact with 75 yards and another touchdown. If the Falcons want to stay competitive, they'll need to lean heavily on Robinson to carry the load once again. As for the defense, last week's 5-sack outing against the Chargers was a breath of fresh air for a unit that's been at the bottom of the league in sacks all season. While it's unlikely they'll replicate that performance, facing a Vikings offensive line that has allowed 37 sacks this season gives them a decent shot to make some noise. Bold prediction, the Falcons' defense will bring down Sam Darnold 3 times, continuing their recent upward trend in pass rushing. But here's the kicker, literally. Younghoe Koo, who was one of the NFL's most reliable kickers last season, has suddenly become a concern. After missing only 1 field goal in 2023, Koo has already missed 8 this year. In a game where every point will matter, the Falcons can't afford any slip-ups from their special teams. Unfortunately, recent trends suggest this could be another area where the team struggles. So, how does it all play out? The Falcons will likely keep things competitive through 3 quarters. The motivation to win is there, especially with Cousins returning to Minnesota and looking for redemption. But when it comes down to the wire, the same issues that have plagued this team all season, turnovers, missed opportunities, and inconsistency, could resurface. Whether it's a costly interception from Cousins or a missed field goal from Koo, the Falcons might find themselves falling just short again. Now, I want to hear from you, Falcons fans. Do you think Kirk Cousins can turn things around and lead this team to a win? Will Bijan Robinson continue to carry the offense, or do you think the Vikings defense will shut him down? And what about our defense? Are we starting to see real improvement, or was last week's performance just a fluke? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, as the Falcons prepare for a critical matchup in Minnesota, all eyes are on Kirk Cousins. NFL insider James Palmer shed some light on what's going on behind the scenes, and it's clear that this is uncharted territory for the organization. Cousins was signed to a massive $180 million deal, but just a few weeks later, the Falcons spent a top 10 draft pick on rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr. According to Palmer, the Falcons are keeping Cousins for now, but time may be running out. The team's leadership believes Penix brings a different dimension to the offense, more athleticism, explosiveness, and a vertical passing threat that Cousins doesn't provide. While the coaching staff admires Cousins' veteran experience, there's no denying the rookie's physical talent. Palmer even mentioned that within the organization, Penix is viewed as a more athletic, more explosive version of Cousins. The current plan is to stay the course with Cousins and give him a chance to turn things around. But let's be honest, fans, how much longer can this go on? Cousins has struggled in recent games, and if that trend continues for a few more weeks, the Falcons may have no choice but to shake things up. Palmer noted that while there's no immediate discussion of making a quarterback change, that could change quickly if the team continues to slip in a season where its postseason hopes have all but been secured. What do you think, Falcons fans? Should the team move on from Cousins or give the rookie a chance sooner rather than later? Now, shifting gears to some positive news, let's talk about Grady Jarrett, a true leader on and off the field. The Falcons recently announced that Jarrett is their nominee for the 2024 Walter Payton Man of the Year award, an incredible honor that recognizes players for their impact on the community. This is Jarrett's second nomination, and it's easy to see why. For 10 seasons, Jarrett has been a force on the defensive line, but his contributions off the field are just as impactful. His Big Men Don't Bully campaign is making waves in Atlanta, organizing educational workshops and anti-bullying rallies at area schools. This year alone, he's led 3 major events to help create a community strategy to combat bullying. It's inspiring to see one of our own using his platform to make such a meaningful difference. The winner of the Walter Payton Man of the Year award will receive $35,000 to donate to a charity of their choice. Want to support Grady Jarrett? You can vote by sharing the team's official tweet or posting your own with the hashtag WPMOY Challenge and tagging Jarrett. Let's support him, Falcons fans, he deserves it. So there you have it, folks, big decisions loom for the Falcons at quarterback and a shining example of leadership in Grady Jarrett. Now it's your turn. What do you think of the QB situation? Should we stick with Kirk Cousins, or is it time to see what Michael Penix Jr. can do? And how proud are you of Grady Jarrett for his contributions on and off the field? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, we'd love to hear from you. Before you go, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Falcons updates. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to bring you even more exclusive content. Go Falcons!